In order to get good at foreshortening, we need to go back in time basically and review perspective. Remember that with perspective, things get smaller as they go into the distance, and single point perspective helps us achieve that in a really easy way. So follow along. I'm doing this very roughly in my sketchbook. You do this on scratch paper, and hopefully you remember how to do this. With single point perspective, we'll just start out with trying to create like that box that goes back into space. Okay, so we start with a simple rectangle, and then remember that we connect the corners of that rectangle to that single point. And I'm doing this very loosely with my pencil. Usually use a ruler. I'm good just doing it roughly with my pencil. Okay, so now we have a box that seems to go on and on forever and ever and gets smaller and smaller as it goes into space, into the distance. And then, but I don't want that. I want to make it look like it gets cut off. So I have to remember parallel lines. This is a vertical line. I'm going to cut it off with another vertical line. This is a horizontal line, and I cut it off with another horizontal line. And then when I'm finito, then I just erase the orthogonals. Those are called orthogonals or converging lines. I believe, is it transversal or orthogonal? I think it's orthogonal. Okay, I'll do another one up here. Maybe I'll do a square. Okay, here we go. And do a quick square-ish. And then I just connect the corners. Okay, all the corners. And then I'm going to make this one look like it really goes into the distance, so I'm going to cut it off further back with my parallel lines. There we go. Okay, I can get really dramatic here. And for the dramatic one, I will do more of a cylinder. Now, remember, what's usually further down on the page means it's more in the foreground, and middle ground, background. Okay, foreground, middle ground, background. Usually what's closer to the bottom of the page is more in the foreground, and therefore it appears bigger. So I'm going to start with, okay, my attempt at a circle, not bad. Okay, and then the deal with doing a circle, we're going to create a cylinder, is we just take the very edges. We don't have corners on a circle, but we have the very, very outermost edge of the circle, and we connect that to the single point. Okay, and we have a round edge, so when we go to cut it off, it gets cut out by another round edge. There we go. Okay. Okay, good. So that is single point perspective, and I can even go on the horizon line too if I want, and I want to do right on there, and then I, again, connect the outermost edges of that circle. And then there you go. Just cut it off with a nice curved line. Okay, I mean, I can even do a star if I wanted to. I'll do a triangle. And just always remember that when you go to cut it off, it's parallel lines. So parallel to that line right there, like that, and then that's almost a totally flat line, slightly angled, just like that. So there's your review on single point perspective. I hope you followed along. I want to see some different objects, these different objects, just like mine, on your practice.